Hey there, I am Rachel McDaniel, and today I am going to be discussing some tips on how to approach, how to research, and how to draft your annotated bibliography. So, what's the purpose behind annotated bibliographies? Well, for one, it helps you learn more about your topic. When I was doing my annotated bibliography last fall, I had a very broad subject. I mean, there are many routes that I could take this paper, that project, and by researching different sources, it helped me narrow down and pinpoint the exact topic that I wanted to discuss. And by doing that, I was able to put together a list of sources that helped me shape my paper. So I was able to, like I said, narrow down my vast subject to exactly what I wanted to talk about. Number four, it helps you synthesize all the sources. Basically, it helps you take all that information and show how it all goes together. And because of the steps one through four, it gives you confidence to prepare your draft. So I encourage you to take advantage of Miami's resources. On the Canvas dashboard, you just click the icon for library resources and access the search guide. Now, this next step is kind of important. Take the time. I don't think we realize how long things are going to take us. And so it's important to carve out a good pocket of time to research these sources and find sources. So the more you delve into your topic, the better idea you'll have for developing your paper. I cannot stress that enough. Next, brainstorm. Think about your topic. Think about all the different ways and directions your paper could go and create a list of search topics that involve your subject or your topic. And next, obviously, search your topic. Use the search bar, type in the topics that you have from your list that you brainstormed. Um, it's also important you can utilize the filter tool. This helps you weed out the sources that you don't need, like say you don't need videos or ebooks, but you're looking specifically for journals or articles or websites. The filter tool also is useful to help you find peer-reviewed sources. There's actually an option where you can click and it'll search the peer-reviewed sources for you. So that's an added benefit. And it's also important to verify each source. You want to make sure that the source you use is credible and not shady. So the fact check way that you can do that is using the crack test. So currency, like when was this article published? Was it published before um, the certain time frame that would make it irrelevant, which leads you to your next step with relevancy? Does this match your topic? Does this help add meat to your paper, or does it lead you down a rabbit trail? Next is authority. Who wrote it? Is it a scholar? Is it someone that is an expert in this area? So it's very important to know who authored that source because the next step, accuracy. And the last step is purpose. Does it align with your topic? Is what objective is it? Is there a bias in it? Is there a slant? Is it nonpartisan? So it's very important to go through these steps to help fact check your sources. In addition, you can compare your information with other sources and kind of just pit them against each other to see, if they're legit. And don't limit yourself. Just because a source title may not match your specific topic, don't entirely disregard it. The content of the source may have additional information that aligns with your topic. I remember last year when I was searching for sources for my topic, there was this one source that just by reading the headline, it didn't really match what I wanted to discuss, but I clicked on it anyways and I read through, and there was a really good portion of that source that aligned with my topic. And so I just encourage you not just to disregard things because you might find there might be a gold mine in gold mine in one of those sources that you may have thought earlier to disregard. Okay, next one is be organized. Okay, this is the one where I had to almost teach myself because I am not naturally organized. So I encourage you to learn from my mistakes. Create a Google Doc for all your sources. Save the links of each source. I cannot tell you how many times I've found a really valuable source and forget to save the link, and then it's like lost somewhere in cyber galaxy, the dark hole, and I cannot access it again. So I encourage you to save the links. Next is to go through your sources, read and save quotes. What part of the source aligns with your topic? What can you use for your project or your paper? And that way you specify in your notes if you pulled a direct quote, like, are you copying from the source and pasting it? Are you into a Google Doc? If you are, make sure you put the page number down, make sure you put the author down, make sure you put the source down so you can accurately quote it. If you paraphrase, I would recommend still putting the page number down and everything else. But you can definitely mark if that's you talking or if you're pulling a direct quote. Be consistent in your citation format. If you're going MLA, make sure all your sources are documented and formatted as MLA. If you're going APA, do the same. And save, save, save. I cannot tell you this enough because of my mistakes and my frustration. The project goals. Read through your sources. This may take extra time, but it's totally worth it to ensure that your sources are useful for your project. You don't want to just list random sources just to get the project done, and then, just to get the annotated bibliography done, and then realize that they are not useful for your paper and or your project. So go through their sources, take that extra time, and it'll help you in summarizing your sources in your bibliography. And I will say it again, save. It's the biggest tip I can give you. Seriously, guys. If you save it, mark where the source is, the page number, so you can use that info. And don't forget to save the links. Next, draft your annotated bibliography. Check the guidelines in Canvas. How many sources do you need? How many of those sources must be peer reviewed? How long must your annotated bibliography summary be? How many, like I said, how many sources, how many pages, what's the preferred format for the citation, MLA, APA? Are you synthesizing the information? And are you listing the sources alphabetically in formatting your annotated bibliography? So here's an example that I pulled from my annotated bibliography from last fall. If you want to take the time to read through it, I formatted it with MLA, and then I provided a summary of that source. Now, if you go down more towards the end of the summary, you can see where I pitted this source against another source. This is an example of synthesizing. I'm taking the information from the source I got from here and examining it against another source. Basically, that's what synthesizing is. It's the interlocking of your sources. And you got this. If you just take the time, do your research, verify your sources, and format and save your links, I think that you can approach this annotated bibliography with confidence because really, you got this.